Well, hello there. It's been a while. Just thought I'd drop by and say hello. I know it's been a while for some of you that have stuck around for quite some time. Oh boy, the stories that I could tell you guys. I gotta stretch it out over the first, let's say, the first 4 months of this year. We're gonna stretch it out a little bit. But this is gonna be part one in a series I'm doing right now, where I'm going to be telling you the story of what has been going on. Now, some of you might know, but might not know the whole truth. Some serious things have happened since the last time I was on here seriously. For those who don't know, some of you probably do know. Like I said, I expect to see at least one or two in the comments. Lord knows they've missed me. But like I said, I'm going to be stretching this story out over time. So this is going to be part one in this series. I will get to what has been going on, but for certain parts of it, I'm waiting until after April comes along to share that information for personal reasons I will get into when the time comes. You will understand then. I'm sorry if you guys were wanting an answer now, but it's probably best if I just wait a little bit longer. But I figured I should probably start this story with what happened, let's see, oh, man, I'm feeling old. Back in 2020? Dang. Seems forever ago now, but it's only been 6 years since it's been 2020 anyway. God, time flies, doesn't it? Anyway. I'm going to just go ahead and say 6 years ago. If anyone remembers, I did storytime videos talking about, awful experiences I had in school, bullies, horrible treatment and everything. But at one point, all of that suddenly stopped. I don't know if any of you guys remember when that happened, but, one day it just stopped. I had to quit doing it. And the main reason for that was a fake video about something I said apparently was being circulated. And the wrong people got a hold of that video, and for reasons I still don't understand, decided to somehow hack something involving my address. Thankfully, they did end up getting the wrong address, and it was my neighbor's house, but they ended up smashing their mailbox and threatening me and all this other, wonderful stuff, just threatening me like crazy. It was just rough. There were 4 of them, 2 southern country bumpkin dudes bashing me up. Oh, you play Dungeons and Dragons, bitch. You better come out here. And all because I did a video. And I'm not saying names or saying places. Unless, I start doing videos that are exclusive to my Discord. Speaking of which, invitation there in the comments, not comment section, the description. Our new Discord community. The old one, gone with the wind. That doesn't exist. The old one doesn't exist anymore. So join our new Discord. It's, pretty secure there. If you want access to, certain things, you'll have to pass a verification check. So if you're into that sort of thing, you'll have to talk to one of the admins. But it's mostly just a gaming community where we share hobbies and everything. But I'm getting off track. But it's a gaming community. So if you like gaming or nerdy shit like comic books, Dungeons and Dragons, video games, you'll like it there. But anyway, back to what I was saying, I did a video about one of the worst people that was in our school. She was not a good person, despite what people would say about her. She treated me like dog shit. She hated me, and, I never personally, understood why. I mean, I know when I was in school, I was, the annoying kid that talked about, Legend of Zelda all the time, or, whatever. But she, for some reason, had a vendetta against me and would stop at nothing to just make my school life miserable. She'd stab me in the back of the neck with a pencil. Not super hard, but, hard enough to where it would leave little marks. telling a teacher never did anything. She wasn't like the most popular, but she was in the popular crowd, you know. But, you know, she'd do shit like that, harass me. And, you know, she was a girl, and I'm not a violent person, but, you know, anytime I lashed out in any way, I'd always get in trouble, so it didn't really matter what I did. But, you know, all of that very swiftly ended. I don't remember what the year was, but she died. She's gone. You know, kaput, out of commission, blah, dead, gone, bye-bye, you know? And, you know, I felt bad, but then I remembered all the horrible shit she did to me, like beyond what normal bullies do. And, you know, sympathy for bullies should not be tolerated, especially those who prey on people with mental disabilities. Not me, but I do know she treated certain special needs students like garbage and said extremely awful things about them. At one point, I remember she even dumped like a bottle of Elmer's glue in a mentally challenged girl's backpack during lunch. That did happen. But, you know, one day we found out she died. I don't remember what grade we were. I know it was before 11th grade, but she died. And, you know, I don't even know if I should say how because it's kind of specific, but, fuck it. She basically died, I think, standing up in the back of a truck. And, you know, it was going 60 miles down the highway. She stood up in the bed of the truck and fell off and bashed her head open. I think that's what happened anyway. I don't know. But as far as I know, that's what happened. And if you ask me, there is no way she was not drinking or on something, because a rational person does not stand up in the back of a truck going 60 miles an hour down the highway and, you know, really stand up or do anything. You can't convince me she wasn't on drugs or alcohol. You know, but, you know, I did a video talking about that, a lot meaner spirited than I'm doing right now. Because, you know, I was drinking a little bit when making that video. And, you know, I upload it, and, you know, I'm getting messages on Instagram saying, hey, you should take that down, hey, you motherfucker, you know, all sorts of horrible, horrible shit being thrown my way, people threatening to come to my house and whoop my ass, people threatening to kill me even, you know, it was awful. And then this one dude, I'll say his fucking name, Colin Bibb, I think, I don't fucking remember, Caleb, Colin, whatever. You know, he's like, hey, you Dungeons & Dragons motherfucker, I'm a friend of hers, and you Dungeons & Dragons bitch. I think I still have screenshots of some of the stuff he said to me. What I'm saying right there, like, Dungeons & Dragons bitch, that is very accurate to what he was saying. I still don't understand how he even managed to get close to my address, but, you know, that's besides the point. But, you know, they show up, like, later that day and bash my neighbor's mailbox. And, you know, we call the police, and the police make them replace it. You know, that ended up happening, you know. And that was a harrowing experience, because, you know, if people are going to overreact like that because of the type of video it was, you know, I don't want to show my face anymore. Well, not right now, anyway. And I still couldn't get over it because, like, I had been the victim for so long, like, harassed horrendously in school, like, punched, verbally assaulted, slapped around, you know, the works, treated like an idiot. That one just pissed me off more than anything, but still. And, you know, people I did videos on, I never used, like, real names or places or anything. They had the gall to, like, try and contact me in the comments section or on Instagram and threaten me. I mean, what's with that? But I don't condone, like, any sort of threats, because I've never threatened anyone. I need to make that perfectly clear. I have never threatened to do harm to anybody, and I don't intend to. because, that's no good. Violence doesn't really solve anything, but, speaking out against it does. So, I don't condone violence, and I don't condone threatening people. I don't condone any of that sort of stuff. So, if anyone's watching this and knows who I'm talking about, please don't go and try and start shit with them, please. It won't solve anything, and it won't do anything. But speaking out will. Speaking out is a really good thing to do. Within reason, of course. But, not to mention, not long after that, I decided to get a job. And, got a job at the local Walmart. And, one of those dudes, I think, that bashed the mailbox and even spotted me once and called me a retard and, made monkey noises at me. That was something. But never got close to me. Like, he deliberately stayed, far away from me and shit. So, I don't know if he was, threatened or something, but I ended up getting revenge anyway, because, when it came to Google reviews, I found out he works, as a farmhand or something. And, I left a 1-star review, and apparently other people did too. So, apparently I'm not the only person that didn't like him. So, payback, I guess. I don't know. I still don't feel, good about it. Because, they basically thought they got away with something. Even though, I never got hit or assaulted, thankfully. And I don't want to assault anybody. Like I said, I don't condone violence or threatening anybody or going after anybody. Please don't do that. It's no good. But, I just think every once in a while I always start thinking about all of these things that's happened, which, there's other stuff that happened after that I'm sure some of you are aware of, but we'll get to those in a while. But, this is basically part 1. I dropped the Prince from my name, so that's gone. I'm Artemis Hellhound now. I thought that sounded pretty wizard, Lots more. Once I finish this series, I think I'm just going to start doing just gaming content, so no story time or anything like that. So you guys can look forward to all sorts of really cool gaming stuff. But, that will be it for this video. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, so whatever the video title is will be what the series is called. I appreciate you guys watching and sitting through, me blathering on for 13 and a half minutes. But, I really appreciate it. So if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and, push like. And, the Discord is in the description, so feel free to join if you want. You're more than welcome to. And without further ado, I wish you a good day. Have a good one. See you later.